Thank you, Representative McDaniel, and thanks to all of you for joining us today. This is a wonderful event that farmers put on, and obviously I'll really appreciate it. As Representative McDaniel mentioned, I did have the pleasure and the privilege of representing the Chung family in relation to the now infamous $54 million pants case. And I say infamous because I think that it really served as a black scar, I think, and a black eye on what the American justice system can be. And I think that media around the country and also around the world saw what vulnerabilities our system of justice has. And what I want to talk to you today about is not just the Chung case, and obviously the Chung case is very important, but what the Chung case means more globally or more nationally when it comes in particular to Consumer Protection Acts. I think, as many of you know, Consumer Protection Acts are very dangerous pieces of legislation in almost all 50 states that in many ways endanger your business, both from the standpoint of potentially high verdicts, but more importantly from the standpoint of high litigation costs and having to defend those lawsuits. These Consumer Protection Acts are really the next frontier, a lot of people think, for the trial bar. They're figuring out, as a result of cases like the Chung case, that there might be money to be had in relation to these cases. And so I definitely hope that you'll pay attention today, because we'll talk about the Chung case, but also about how dangerous these Consumer Protection Acts are. So what I want to do, first of all, is I'll start out by talking a bit about that case, because it provides some context within which to talk about Consumer Protection Acts. Then I'm going to move on, talk to you about the acts themselves, and a little bit about what those dangers are that I mentioned. And then we'll talk about, very briefly, some things that we can do and some things that ALEC, in fact, has already done to try to fix some of those gaps in Consumer Protection Acts. So first of all, though, I want to introduce you to the Chungs. The Chungs, unfortunately, couldn't be here today, but we do have a video representation of them and a little bit about their case. So if we could run that video for a second.
In 2005, D.C. Administrative Law Judge Roy Pearson used the District of Columbia's Consumer Protection Act to file a $67 million lawsuit against a D.C. mom-and-pop dry cleaner for losing a pair of his pants. When the case made international news, Mr. Pearson reduced that claim to $54 million and had his day in court. This case would later be called the Great American Pantsuit, and is used as one of the best examples of lawsuit abuse in the United States. While it's essential that people who are truly harmed have an opportunity to be heard, it's important to note that too often frivolous lawsuits like the Great Pantsuit are creating a logjam in America's court systems. It's important that lawmakers understand the potential impact of overreaching consumer protection statutes. 3 years later, after losing one of their dry cleaners as a result of this case, we had the chance to talk with Jin and Sue Chung to learn more about their ordeal. What was your reaction when you found out that you were being sued for $67 million?
I didn't understand it at all. I didn't understand why I was being sued and what it was for at all.
If this happened to you again, is there anything you would do differently?
Hopefully it will never happen again, but if it does happen to us again, I think I will know that it shouldn't take this long to drag out.
Do you think someone should be able to sue for millions of dollars over the loss of a pair of pants?
Not at all.
Do you think small business owners should be able to be sued for such large sums of money?
Before and now it's still the same. I still don't understand why it was such a large amount. It was very, very confusing, as well as just not being able to understand why it was even happening to us.
Should people push their lawmakers to change laws such as these?
Yes, I think that laws that are so negative and unhelpful for the normal common people like us should be changed.
Do you think the law, as written, treats small business owners fairly?
Up to this lawsuit, we thought that the judicial system did treat small businesses fairly, but again, I did not know too much about the judicial system and the laws in America. But after this lawsuit and this case, I do feel that something needs to be changed for small business owners to be able to continue their business.
Did you know that the person suing was an administrative law judge?
When I found out that he was an administrative law judge, I felt that as somebody in that position, you shouldn't abuse the system as he did and basically terrorize a small business owner like us.
Looking back on your case, do you feel that the broadness of the law allowed the judge to abuse the court system?
Yes, I do think it's abusive. It was abusive, and it affected us because in a way where we were both physically and mentally stressed. And this type of lawsuit should not happen to anyone else because of that reason.
You won at trial. Do you feel like you won?
I don't think there were any winners in this process. As a result of the case, legally, on paper, it's documented that we won, but there aren't any winners either way. The mental stress and the toll that it's taken on us outweighs any court or legal document that says that we won this trial.
How has this lawsuit changed your life? And how has it affected your business?
If it wasn't for this case, we would still probably be owners of Custom Cleaners. Our plan was to continue that business for another 3 or 4 years and then retire. But because of this lawsuit, we are no longer owners of Custom Cleaners. It's just taken too much of a mental and stressful toll on us, so we had to sell it. And because of that, we're starting from scratch. Our retirement plans we have to start anew.
If you could send a personal message to lawmakers, what would you say to them?
너무 그 법이 소비자법을 우리가 완전히 모르니까는
I feel that as a small business owner, I have to feel comfortable to be able to trust my customers. It's a trust relationship. And in order for me to do that, I do feel that the laws have to be changed. That way I can trust my customers and they can trust me, and we'll have a good business-to-customer relationship.
So as you can see, it obviously had a profound effect on the Chungs.